Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I am Shanti and I am so glad that you guys are here. In this video, I will be giving you a breakdown of episode 6 of Inmate to Roommate featuring David and Aaron. But before I get into them, I want to give you guys a quick preview of what's to come with Analisa, Vada, and Mark. They weren't featured in this episode, but they did show us a preview of what's to come next week, and it looks like Mark is back to being hard-headed. Now, I don't know if you all had a chance to check out my breakdown of episode 5, but in that episode, Mark was noticeably more agreeable, respectful, and he seemed like he was ready to get himself together. He ended up meeting with someone from the Urban League who was going to help him, get back on track. The guy also did time, so he was relatable. I thought he could have been a mentor to Mark. And then Mark even thanked Vada for taking him up there, and he seemed like he was excited about getting his life back on track. But in the episodes before that, Mark had a serious attitude problem, and he was very disrespectful. But now that I think about it, maybe Mark has smoked some trees on that day. Maybe that's why he was so nice and mellow on the last episode. What do you guys think? But I will post the link to the review of episode 5 so that you guys can see the difference in Mark's behavior. But anyways, so next week we will see that Mark has been missing in action for 3 days, and Analisa and Vada had no idea where he was. They said he was missing for 3 days, and then he shows up knocking on the door, and Vada answers like, "Hey, Mark, I haven't seen you in a few days." And then it shows Analisa telling producers that Mark's behavior is escalating and it's not getting any better. And then you see her in the next scene. She's going into Mark's room and she's asking him, like, where has he been? And he's telling her, get away from my door. Like, where have you been?
Behavior is escalating and it's not getting better. So where you been, Mark?
You get away from my room. What are you talking about? Where have I been? Where have you been?
There's that guy with his audacity again. I knew it was too good to be true. I knew that nice behavior was just temporary. But anyway, the producers asked Mark, like, where were you? And he said he just been out enjoying life and what it has to offer, whatever that means.
Out and enjoying what life has to offer.
I know, I need to shut up.
Yeah, you do. Thank you.
But anyway, I knew that wouldn't last long. I had a feeling that he was going to go back to his old ways. But anyway, so that is the previews to their episode next week. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. So now let's get into David and Aaron. In their last episode, David and Aaron took a little trip to the lake and they did some canoeing. And David revealed to Aaron that he used to be incredibly racist. He said that he grew up in a family where they believed in equal rights for Black people or minorities. However, they didn't want them to dwell in the same spaces as them. So yeah, he actually said that, and Aaron was shocked to hear that. And myself, as a viewer, I was also shocked to hear David say something like that. But they, kind of talked about it, and Aaron asked him, was he still, racist? And, when I watched the episode, David kind of hesitated. He kind of did one of those like, not really, or no, I don't think so. He acted like he wasn't sure if he was still racist or not. It wasn't a definite, oh, no, I'm not. He was kind of, hesitating there. But yeah, so that's what happened in their last episode. So now it has been 16 days since Aaron has been out of prison and living with David. And David said that things are going well and he wants Aaron to feel like he's at home. Aaron suggested that they throw a cookout and invite some of his friends and family over for a welcome home party. David asked Aaron who's all coming, and he said it's going to be people from his support group and his daughter. Some of the first guests arrive, and it's a few of Aaron's friends. Their names are Ian, Jeremy, and Charlie. The guys, they're kind of big, kind of stocky. Two of them look like weightlifters, but they all bought like a side dish for the cookout. And then next, one of Aaron's female friends show up. I think her name is Ashley. Aaron told producers that David was gracious enough to let him invite his sober support squad over. He said he knows that he has, he says that he has known them for 10 to 15 years. So everyone kind of makes their way inside the house and go back to the back patio where Aaron is grilling some food. Looks like he's grilling hamburgers and hot dogs. And he says to his friends that it's a blessing to not have to go to a halfway house and that the dude that he's living with is pretty cool. So far, David has not met Aaron's friends, and they are just kind of all standing around talking, and David's nowhere in sight, but they're on a patio talking and just kind of laughing and catching up. Aaron goes on to say that he met David through a criminal justice reform program in prison, and they only communicated through messages. His friends mentioned that it was nice of David to open up his house to Aaron like that, and Aaron agrees, and he said that he can't mess things up. Aaron's friend told a producer that Aaron tends to put a lot on his shoulders, and that's something that David will need to look out for. He said that Aaron seems different, but addiction can rear its ugly head at any time. David finally comes outside and greets everyone. Aaron's friend Dewey expresses his gratitude to David for taking in his friend Aaron. And David is like, no problem, for sure. He's so awkward, y'all. Listen to this.
I appreciate you taking care of my man.
For sure.
I really do.
Another friend told producers that in his heart, he believes Aaron will be successful, but he is a little worried for David because if Aaron allows himself to go back to old bad habits, it's going to be a mess. And I'm paraphrasing. It seems like his friends don't have much faith in him. They're all kind of saying, well, we hope for the best, but you know how addiction is. So, and, Aaron himself, he said that he has a track record of giving into his addictions and stuff like that. So, I don't know. And then, you know what? When I was watching scenes from the next episode, it looks like Aaron took the car and he's gone MIA. So I don't know what that's all about. You know how they show the previews and it's usually not what you think it is. So I don't want to assume anything. But yeah, it looks like he did take David's car with permission, but he was gone for like over a day or something like that. So yeah, anyway, in the next scene, Aaron's daughter actually shows up. She walks in. She's kind of sneaking up on everyone, and you can tell that she caught Aaron by surprise, but he was very happy to see her. He gave her a really big hug, and she and David were able to meet for the first time. Aaron said that Abby came to see him in prison, but seeing her on the outside and being able to hug her and hold her is awesome. Abby told producers that she has a lot of mixed feelings about seeing her dad after 2.5 years. But he actually just said that she came to see him in prison, but she's saying that she hasn't seen him in 2.5 years. That's interesting. Is he lying or what? Anyway, I guess moving on. She said that she can't even count how many times he has been in and out of prison. She said that she met him at 11 years old and she is now 24. And he has been gone for a majority of that time. And it's been a lot of disappointment. Aaron gives Abby a tour of the house and starting with his room. And then they start off there where they can have a little heart-to-heart talk without everyone, being around. And so Aaron kind of tells her like, I'm not going to mess up anymore. I'm not going back to prison. And she's looking like, yeah, I've heard this before. You can tell she's over it. Her face expression says it all. And Aaron told producers, he said that Abby seems excited to have him home, but she also seems a little apprehensive. But that is understandable. He can understand why she is nervous. They talk about a letter that she sent him about 2 years ago, I guess when he first got locked up. And In that letter, she kind of like expressed to him how she was feeling and how disappointed she was that he kept breaking her heart and letting her down, and he kept going to jail and not seeing her. It was kind of a heartfelt letter, and he said that it was hard for him to read that letter. She explained that she had a rough home life before she met her dad. And she said that she held on to promises that he made to her, telling her that he would come and pick her up on the weekends. And she looked forward to that. She looked forward to her dad coming to get her so that she can escape her home life, which was so rough. And then she said that she felt let down and disappointed because he never fulfilled his promise to her. Abby said that when she initially gave her dad that letter, he told her that he didn't need to hear that. It wasn't the right time for her to give him something like that. And he apologized to her and told her that he did need to hear what she had to say. It's just that he didn't want to hear it at the time.
He gave me a letter. The letter was a heartfelt explanation for a lot of the things that she could never say to me.
He said that he read the letter over and over, and it helped him more and more than she knows. I don't know if I believe that, but I think he's just saying what he needs to say to make her feel better. But he assured her that he assured his daughter that he is a changed man. He said that she is the reason that he decided to change his life. All of a sudden, she's the reason that he decided to get on a straight and narrow path. Mind you, he's been in and out of her life. He doesn't really know her. And I don't like when people say things like that. I don't like when addicts say, like, you're the reason that I'm going to change. And, you know, it's nice to have a reason, but you got to do it for yourself, because if that person that you're changing your life for, if they let you down, then, you know, what are you going to do? Go back to the drugs, go back to the alcohol, or go back to whatever bad habit you had, you know? So the reason has to be yourself. Anyway, I didn't mean to go there, but she told producers that she is not willing to put herself in a position to be hurt again.
The point where I need to be done with this conversation.
All right.
We can get into it later, but this is like a first day. This is just a lot for this.
She has zero expectations that her dad can stay out of prison. So his friends and his daughters have zero expectations in him staying out of prison. And they know him. His friends have known him for 10 or 15 years. And of course, his daughter kind of knows him. She knows how he moves, but Aaron doesn't know. Aaron told producers that him going in and out of prison was traumatizing to Abby, and it's going to take time and consistency to gain her trust. And then that's the end of their scene in this episode. So it looks like his friends are not trusting him. You know, they're trying to hold on to hope and have faith in him, but it's not looking good. And his daughter, she's really not feeling it. She's like, you know, been there, done. In the next episode, it looks like Aaron is going to go MIA for a day or so. And I don't know what that's about. And, you know, it looks like David is kind of in a panic. You know, he reached out to his friends and they're kind of like looking for him. So I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen next week. What's that all about? But what do you think about Aaron so far? From what we know from these few episodes, do you think he is going to get it together and stay off the drugs and stay out of the streets? Or is he just going to continue on with old habits and old patterns? His friends and his daughter certainly thinks that he will. But what do you think? Let me know. Drop a comment, please leave a like and subscribe, or at least come back and check me out. I drop new content weekly. And until next time, I will chat with y'all later.